Coming up, the After Six mix from the year in which the Queen became the
It is just approaching 6 a.m. I can't believe I'm up at this time and listening to Chris Williams. As much as he's great fun and everything, still, it's far too early to be up.
Stop, whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman.
Well, it's 5 minutes to 7 a.m. I'm here at the sorting office. I'm just going to go in and meet with some of the guys here and see who my assigned postie is for today. It's been a beautiful couple of mornings, actually. Really lovely. Can you hear the rain this morning? Thanks very much for that, Manx weather. It's all right, got my hat, got my big old Manx radio coat with a hood on it, got my boots on. I'm sure I'll survive. I have been assigned a postie for the day. Hello, who are you?
Mark Harris. Hi.
Mark, it's lovely to meet you. This is rather early in the morning, but I'm guessing you've actually been up for a lot longer. What time do you start work?
I started at 7, but I've been up since 6.
Oh, how do you deal with the early mornings?
You just get on with it. It's actually great. Absolutely fine.
How long have you been doing this for?
Since April last year. This year, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm on until sort of May next year.
And why did you want to do this? What made you want to do this?
Well, I just wanted to get stuck into something while I enjoy it and learning something new every day. Every day's a different day. You're meeting different people all the time, and it's not just delivering letters. There's a lot more to it that there is to that. So, yeah, and I just really enjoy it. I'm outside. It doesn't matter whether it's raining. I think it's raining now, but that doesn't matter.
I've noticed that.
Then I had my shades on yesterday, so it was a lovely day yesterday.
Could we just go back and just do yesterday instead?
I know, brilliant, yeah.
Excellent. We'll be finding out all about what it is like in the day of a life of a postie as we follow you, Mark. So no pressure. I'm sure it'll be fun. Right, what do we do now?
Okay, so as you can see to your left, we've got all the bags coming in from the airport that are all getting snipped and then emptied out. They're then getting sorted into these crates here. Anything large goes in the crates, anything small goes in the olds. That then gets further sorted down there. So if you're seeing that your parcel is on the Isle of Man depot, it's probably just come through that area there. So and then obviously it gets further sorted, whether it's going out to Ramsey, Peel, or South, whatever, and then it gets further sorted again. So hopefully you'll get it in the same day. And that's the idea. So yeah, so that's there, and then we've got our letters here. So we'll have our letters coming off either the boat or the plane. They get put through this machine. That then sorts them out into Peel, South, North, rurals, and then you've got your different routes for each of around Douglas, and it sorts them all out into batches. And it takes a while, but it can actually sequence what we call sequence them into order as per our frames, so that when we get the box, we can just say, right, well, that goes there. So you're not like all over the place on the frame. You'll just throw them all in order. So it makes it a lot quicker for us.
You are dealing with handwritten addresses. They have to be sorted by hand. You can't do that by a machine, can you?
Not really, no. I mean, if the writing is pretty clear, then the machine can read it, but it's not completely infallible. So then it goes through to hand sorting, which is right over the back there. So
and they're just really good at deciphering everything, are they?
Well, so there's been occasion where I'm like, I can't read that. What do you think? There will be always somebody somewhere here that knows where it is. So but that just comes with experience.
Yeah.
So use of postcode is always a big help to us in determining what road you're actually trying to get it to. Not leaving putting your number on or the house name on. And just as importantly, if we can't get it to whoever you're trying to get it to, is to put your own address, the sender's address on it, so that we can get it back to you.
Actually, I've got an example. I brought with me an envelope here, my first Christmas card. It's probably too late because it's going to Australia, so probably too late. Look at the way that's addressed. What do you think? Can you read that?
Yes, I can read that. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm doing all right so far.
Yes.
However, I've not put the return address on. So I will do that before I post it. I promise I will, Mark. Right, let's get on then.
Billy Carroll, delivery manager.
Right, so just tell us where we're standing right now, Billy.
Well, basically, you're right in the middle of the sorting hall. We've got from one side, you've got all the frames which the guys use to take the walks out, and on the other side's all the sorting area. Yeah.
And it's a pretty busy time, isn't it?
It is. It's. I think Christmas has started early. I'm not sure whether people have just decided to order early this year for one reason or another. Hopefully that carries on as well, I might add.
And there's obviously a lot of automation going on, but there's still a lot that happens by hand here, isn't there?
It is. I mean, basically we just automate C5 envelopes, and obviously at Christmas with all the Christmas cards and that, it does reject a lot because it doesn't take red letters for some reason.
And just remind us while we're here then, what are the dates we should be posting things by to make sure they get where they need to go?
Well, as soon as possible is the best advice I would give. We do get absolutely, using a better word, hammered for a good 10 days from something like the 5th of December right through to about, I say 10 days, to about the 20th, and then it starts to go slightly downhill a bit. So we managed to catch up by the end of it, but it basically tenfolds from a normal day.
And how long have you been doing this job for?
In the sorting office itself, 4 years, but within the post office, 20 years.
So you must have seen some changes over the years then?
I have. Automation certainly wasn't here when I came. The guys, when I started, used to go out on 2 deliveries. And now, as you well know, it's gone down to 5 days a week. So it was 2 deliveries a day, 6 days a week. And now it's 1 delivery a day for 5 days. So it shows you how the postage volumes have gone down. Mm-hmm. Parcels going up, letters are going down. Yeah. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah. But it's a busy day. I'll probably be here till roughly about 2 o'clock today.
Oh, what time did you start?
5:30.
I'm glad I didn't have to come in that early.
Not many people know that there's 2 5:30s in a day, I might add.
It's only you and Chris Williams, and I think that's about it. Thanks very much, Billy.
Okay, no problem.
Love letter straight from your heart.
Thankfully, I'm also joined by a second chaperone. We've got Nicky Livingstone with us here. Nicky, just remind us what your role is in the post office.
I'm responsible for PR and social media.
And we're just letting Mark do his thing at the moment so he can get his stuff together before we go out on the rounds. But we just witnessed something dramatic. What happened?
Oh, shame. There was a package, an envelope that was ripped open. Now, with all the mail coming in, and possibly some of it has been exposed to the rain on its route to the island at some point, it might happen that something rips open. Now, in that case, as soon as we see one of those compromised packages, envelopes, whatever, we take them to our locker, which is our secure area over there, and it will be packaged in a bag with a note for the customer to say, this has been compromised. If there's anything missing, give us a call and let us know, and we can help you.
So it's obviously, as we've been discovering so far, a very busy place here. Do you get to come and see this sort of back area very often?
To be fair, I've not been in the morning that early to see all the action going, but during Christmas time, because there's so much work, we get to do Christmas assistance. So because there's so much mail coming in, while our boys and girls are out on deliveries and taking out the mail to the public. And because there's only that many hours a day, they're very glad if we help them out a little bit. And so we've got shifts in mails, shifts in parcels, and shifts in customer service to help people who come with their notice left cards. Because, I mean, sometimes the queues are just so big.
It does get busy. I've been in those queues many times before, but in a way, that's good, isn't it? Because we want people to be using the post office.
Oh, we absolutely do. I mean, we want people to send letters, send cards. You had Maxine Cannon, our Stamps and Coins general manager, on last week, and she always says, you can't put a text on a mantelpiece. So, and she's right. You know, there is something very emotional about getting a card, maybe keeping them. I still have our wedding cards in a pile, and every Christmas card I have from my husband ever since we met, I've got that kept aside because it's just something nice to look back in a couple of years.
standing outside a whole extra section here, and it looks very interesting, Nicky.
Yes, this is our high security area for our integrated mailing solutions service. So everything that's happening in there is high security. It is a locked off area. Only certain people can get in there because they're dealing with data and sensitive information, and that's why not everyone can go in there. Now, if we have a business customer, for example, who is sending out their invoices via us, that will all be handled in there. So it's enveloped in there, it's then franked in there, and then being sent out straight into our mail stream to go out to the public. Or maybe going across, that's also possible. And then we also have our stamps and coins section in there, which is the warehouse part for all our stamp collections that we have. And we have a great team working in there who are taking in the orders from all across the world and packaging up the stamp orders that people are ordering, and then it's being sent out as well.
And you're known for producing some beautiful stamp collections. And does that, I take it that there are still some really avid collectors out there. It's still a popular thing, is it?
Yes, there are still a lot of stamp collectors out there. Unfortunately, as most of our business, it's also in decline. But having said that, there's still beautiful stamps produced all over the world. And our Stamps and Coins team especially is so passionate about what they choose to go onto the stamps, and every stamp collection is very, very special and close to our heart. And what we try to achieve with our Manx stamp editions is just to make sure that people out there in the world realize we have a heritage, we have a culture that needs to be nurtured, that needs to be spread around the world. And with our stamps, it's the perfect way to do that, because they go onto the letters and people all over the world see a miniature piece of art that is actually showing something that is typical for the Isle of Man. So, yeah.
What has been one of your favourite collections so far?
You know, there's a couple of collections that I really love. I love the wildlife collections, and one of my favorite collections last year, well, there's actually a couple. One of them was the Greetings and Manx stamps.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, I'm not from the island, and I'm interested in languages, and seeing or hearing Manx Gaelic is very, very special to me. So I really enjoyed that one. And it had some beautiful mice on there. I love them. And then there was a stamp collection for the 200th birthday of Herman Melville, the author of Moby Dick. And that was done with a local artist, Juan Moore. And honest to God, I loved these images. They were so wonderful. And then, of course, we have our Christmas stamp edition at the moment, which is Christmas cards, the spirit of Christmas. It's what we're all about. Send Christmas cards, post letters, make people happy and emotional with receiving a message at Christmas. And especially something that, that is just handwritten and, you know, put some effort into it. And it's just, that's just what we're about.
Hi-ho, it's off to work we go.
We've got an aircraft coming in and a container on the boat. The aircraft obviously is all first class mail. That's the first van back from the aircraft this morning, which carries about 5 tonne. That will be mixed. There'll be registered items, tracked letters, what we call flats, which is A4 envelopes, and small packets.
So it must really mess your day up if that plane doesn't come in then.
It does. It makes the next day very busy.
Yeah.
Next day. The guys don't mind it missing now and again because they get a nice quiet day. This machine can sort letters about 40,000 an hour. Now, just to give you an idea, a normal day we probably process up to 30,000. Christmas you can go to 100,000.
No way.
But quite a few of them, as I said before, get rejected. Because you get something like this.
So red envelopes don't help the post office, just so you know, people.
They don't. But that's the Christmas colour, really, isn't it? Unfortunately, it backfires on us.
It's a really good atmosphere in here.
It can be, and it does get better. There's a lot of banter with the lads. You have to curtail it sometimes. They are a good lads. They are good lads.
And some women too, which is good to see.
Yes.
Well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I gave a letter to the postman. He put it in his sack.
You've got a bit of kit here, Mark. What is it?
Well, we call it a Zebra. Basically, it's just a mobile device that allows us to scan the tracked items using the software that you can see there. And once we've scanned that in, that obviously, like I said to you before, if you've ordered something online and you want to track it, this uploads to that particular site so that you can then tell where it is. So that's just basically telling the system that item has made it to the Isle of Man, and we keep that updated. Once that's done, these then go off to be further sorted, as I said. So, yeah.
So you're not even anywhere near your bag of mail yet to take out, are you?
No. Well, that's still getting put together. The guys way over the back there that are throwing these packets into individual bags. I'll then take the bag that's got my number on it, and then I'll further sort them as per my route. So that'll be later on, probably an hour and a half yet. Yeah. So yeah, there's a little bit more sorting to do yet. As you can see behind it, there's lots and lots coming through. So there's lots.
There is so much of it, but I'm guessing, have you noticed the volumes already increasing? It must have been for a while now for Christmas.
At the moment, yeah. I mean, I'm the same as everybody else. We all got paid right. It's time to start buying things, and you're on Amazon, eBay, and everything else. And we're starting to see an influx of and an increase in volumes coming through at the moment. But we think it's really going to hit next week. So
good to get you now. I don't think you'll be talking to me next week, would you?
Head down on it.
And if it comes back the very next day, then I'll understand. Riding on it. Return to send
So we're back in the mail hall now, and we've been talking about obviously the morning process and getting the mail out around the Isle of Man. I've got my little card here, my Christmas card here, to my sister who's going to be in Australia for Christmas. What would happen to this then? Once I take it to a post office, what happens to it?
Well, most important is you put on a stamp. Otherwise, mail goes nowhere. Or the person who receives it gets charged. As soon as that is taken to your local post office or into a post box, this will be collected in the afternoon. It all comes back here, and then we will start sorting. So the mail bag gets emptied on the table, and then we are hand sorting the letters into forward for UK mail, and then we will sort it into local mail. Everything that can be machine read is being packed aside and going through the machines to be sorted, and everything that cannot be machine read, like unfortunately red envelopes as we talked about earlier, or handwriting that isn't really machine readable, will be hand sorted into the right mail bag to go off island on the plane tonight to reach the right destination in the UK, and then being distributed from there over to Australia.
She's getting ready to fly away.
So basically, it's going to end up over here on this table, then it'll go in one of those bags, and then it will fly off.
Exactly, that's what it's going to do. And in an ideal world, that all happens rather quickly, but there's always things happening in between. So we're on an island. We have to remember that there can be fog, there can be really bad weather conditions, things that are out of our control. So the advice in general is post as early as possible to make sure that it gets where it needs to go, and then everyone's happy.
Well, happy travels, little card. I hope you make it. I'm sure you will, because these guys are on the case. And so where are we now, Nicky?
We're in the parcel hall extension, actually. So I don't know if you've seen it in the press, but we have extended our parcel hall because the one thing that our business is on the up is parcels, and the volumes for parcels are increasing while mail volumes sadly are decreasing. But we have extended our parcel hall just to make sure that we've got enough space for the volumes of parcels coming in.
Is this as a result of mainly online shopping?
Yes, it is a result of online shopping. It is actually, that's exactly what's been happening over the past years. People are shopping online, the volumes and parcels go up, and that's why we said we need to extend in this area just to make sure that we can actually cater to the needs of people on our island.
Yeah. And again, lots going on, super busy.
Yep, all the vans here are at the moment still here and quiet, but the boys and girls, I have to say, in the parcel hall are sorting their parcels, and as soon as they're done, they will upload them into the vans, and then they're out all day trying to reach you, and if they don't get to you, they'll leave you a notice left card. Mm-hmm. So that's what's happening.
And you do look at all those boxes, don't you, and think, what's inside?
Oh my God, you wouldn't believe how curious I, for example, am. It's a good job I don't deal with packets every day, because I would really go, I would like to know what's in there, and go, oh, who's that for? And some packages come in really weird shapes and sizes, and you go, what might that be? And you're just curious. I guess that's because I'm not really often in the parcels hall, and I guess if you deal with it every day, that curiosity gets less and less. But
especially at this time of year when you think of the kids and what might be the excitement those parcels are going to bring.
Twinkling eyes about a Christmas present under the tree. Oh, it's just heartwarming to think about that.
Nicky, we're outside now. We're surrounded by red.
Yes, this is our vehicle park where, all our Postie cars are parked overnight and now being loaded as we're early in the morning, being busy. We have a big van, I guess you call it a lorry, a truck, that's going up to Ramsey soon. So everything that's been sorted to go north is going to go there soon in the big lorry. This is a big parcel lorry. It's just arrived to get all the packages to us that will then be sorted and delivered, and we're actually right now standing at our very own gas pump.
That's such a good idea. The Post has its own petrol.
Well, I mean, it's just because we have so many vehicles. Yeah. Rather than having to go around to fill up the vehicles, we just have our own supply here and just can make sure that no Postie ever runs out of gas.
Right, where are we, Mark?
Okay, we are at the frame for what we call 11 Walk, which is Quarterbridge Road and the surrounding area. As you can see, I've got my box of mail I've got to throw out, and I've got all my packets. So I've just got to go through and sort everything out before we can bag it up and get out of here.
So just explain these frames then.
Okay, so basically what we've got is, as you can see by looking at it, it's not really in a logical order as you're looking at it, but once you get out on the route, you'll see that actually it all makes sense, how it all follows on quite nicely. So we're starting sort of on Eleanora Drive and then on to Selborne, but we start at like 50 and then it goes all the way to 20, but there's a lot of crossing over the road, and then it goes onto Tennis Road and so on and so forth.
So that makes sense. So it's organised by basically your movements.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So what we also have to think about is the size of the bags. So I can only carry so much in a bag. We've got other bags in our car or wherever we can get bags are dropped off. So we need to have the route set up in such a way that we can get back to the next bag. Yeah. So in this case, we'll start here at Selborne, go to there, and then we actually drop onto Quarterbridge Road. Right. And we end up back here, which is where I've got my car parked. So I'll pick up my next bag, and that takes me all the way over to Wessex Garage. Yeah. And we've got some bags there. And then we move through Albany Road, through Sarfell, back to the Wessex Garage again.
What amazes me is knowing, and it makes sense, I guess, every single house has got their own little slot.
Yes, they have. Absolutely every single one. Yeah, and you've got to think about all the flats as well. You've got these little flats here where they've got their own individual slot as well. So you've got to think about pretty much every single residence on the island, really. So,
which means I've got one too. I'm very excited about that.
Yes, you will have one somewhere. Maybe not on this frame, but it will be out there.
I just have to ask you, Mark, there is a sign on the edge of your frame.
There is.
I was going to ask you when we're out and about, is it true about dogs? It clearly is.
Yeah.
Get back, Ruffy, get back, you flea infested mongrel.
It must be the colour of the bag or the colour of the clothes we're wearing. I don't know what it is. The fact that we approach their house and then disappear again, they don't really get a chance to sort of smell us. So, yeah, normally greeted with something like that. You know.
There is a picture at the end. I'm not going to give it away. There's a picture at the end of it of quite a scary looking dog, which I have to say. Have you actually encountered an aggressive dog then?
I've actually been lucky. You can hear them behind doors sometimes, so you have to use a little tool to push your mail through. If they've got a box outside, then good on them, because that makes the mail doesn't get chewed up.
Territory, isn't it? You're on their turf, mate. Oh, you see, it is true. It is true. You do have to be aware of the dogs.
Yes, we do.
Well, hopefully we won't see any dangerous dogs today.
Just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van.
Right, we've parked up. We are now officially on your round, Mark.
Yes, just starting on Eleanor Drive. It's not too bad a day. The rain's kind of died off a little bit, so yeah, it's all looking pretty good so far.
And if you were to get through all of the mail you've got with you now, how long will it take you, do you think?
Normally we kind of say that it's a 3-hour trip around the frame that we looked at earlier. This is our first stop just here. So, but it can depend on your load. So I mean, if you've got lots of parcels and lots of sign falls, then that would obviously increase, but today I don't think it's too bad. So
we've got our first one. So here we go. He's gonna go and drip. He's on his way, heading for the post box. Our postie is delivering its first one of the day. There it goes. Congratulations, you have now got some post. Which is getting rarer and rarer, admittedly, so it's actually really nice to get something through the door now, isn't it?
In a changing environment that we're in at the moment, a lot of things are digitised, and emails are sent and less letters and things like that, so we're kind of seeing that, and it's more we're seeing more parcels and packets coming through, so we're having to sort of adapt with that as well, so so it's all good though.
And this is your next one, and you could probably put this directly in the gentleman's hand even.
Yeah, and what's even better, this is a registered mail as well, so I need a signature for this one.
Do your thing.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Enjoy your day.
Take care now.
Done and dusted. It must be really satisfying when you can actually get them to sign right there and then.
Absolutely, yeah, it is. Hang on a second.
Oh gosh, we're going to literally every address. This is good.
Special delivery service, and it's on its way.
Not all houses have letterboxes though. What do you do then?
Well, sometimes I've got a little box outside, but we've just been to one just there. We've got 2 little stones on the porch there, and you just place them in between the stones, which the customer's quite happy with, and that's what they wanted and told us what to do. So it's quite nice.
All the eccentricities, and there was just one there as well where we went up to it to deliver something, and the gentleman just opened the door. And I'm assuming that you must have that. You must meet a lot of your people you deliver to.
Yeah, you do see a lot of different people every day, which is again quite a nice perk to the job. Some people are kind of waiting for their mail and things like that, which is quite nice too, so you get to have a little chat with them, but yeah, as you put in the post through the letterbox, they're already at the door, so so you have a little conversation with them and then you're off on your way again, so it's dead nice.
It's Christmas, that time of year. Do people still leave things? I mean, I know you've only been here since April, so you might not know, but do people still leave things for their postie, little gifts?
Well, I've not seen anything yet. I'm not looking for it either, but I have known that people do get like a little Christmas box off their loyal customers. So just for the postman that they've seen that's been doing it for a number of years, so they'll leave something for them, whatever that might be. So
that's nice.
It is nice, yeah.
I just gotta get a message to you.
So, as we said, you've only been doing this since April. What did you do before this, Mark?
Well, I was training to be an accountant at the time. I got kind of part qualified, but it was just I wasn't getting the time with the family that I was really looking for, which is why I sought out this kind of role, and now I get to finish early and I'm always at home for when they finish school, which is just brilliant. I've got more time with the kids, and it's just what I've always wanted, so and it's pretty much stress-free as well. So
and being outdoors, which we love.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I'm experiencing, Mark, is also the fact that I'm seeing houses from a very different perspective.
Oh no, it's great, absolutely. I mean, you're driving past and you never even notice half the places that are on the island, but taking the time in your day to just sort of have a look around, and there's some really fantastic and beautiful houses around here.
I'm exploring the Isle of Man with you.
You are, that's right, taking you to new places.
It's not a bad route to have, is it?
It's actually not, no. It's not too hilly either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you must keep fit.
Well, yeah, I've lost probably about 1.5 stone since I started this.
Wow.
Which is really good. So, and I'm actually eating a lot more than I was too. So
now you've got a lot of post here with you. Obviously, there's lots of letters that you're delivering, and you're so quick at what you do, Mark. Has anything ever ended up in the wrong place?
Well, heavens no, I wouldn't hope not. At the end of the day, we have to sort of be very careful with how we do that. As the mail comes into the sorting office, it's sorted down either through machine or by eye. And what I'm doing right now is like a final check before it goes through the letterbox. Once that's happened, it's in resident, and you're not going to be able to retrieve it. So, we're having to be compliant with GDPR these days, and confidential information, that sort of thing. So we have to be dead careful about that sort of thing. So it's always worth just doing that final check just before you pop it through the letterbox. But yeah, it's practice, I guess, for the last sort of 6-7 months that I've got pretty quick at it. But yeah,
there's a lot more to it than I thought there would be, actually. To being a postie, and obviously I've learned a lot of the background of what goes on up at the sorting office as well.
Yeah.
What do you think are the characteristics that make a really good postie?
Being physically fit, having a willingness to want to muck in and get some work done, and having that attention to detail.
And being very much a team player as well, from what I could see up at the sorting office.
Definitely that, yeah. We're one big team when we're in the sorting office, but once we've got our bags and we're off in the car, we're off on our rounds, it's very much down to us. We've got to be self-sufficient and responsible, and being able to finish off and post everything that we're given that's come through that day. So, But yeah, it's definitely a team effort when we're back at the sorting office there, and we have a good crack as well. It's some good banter up there, as you probably heard. So.
There was some good banter, and a lot of it I wasn't able to record, which is probably just as well. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to leave you to finish off your round. It's been an absolute pleasure and a fascinating morning finding out about a day in the life of a postie. Yeah. What message would you have for your posting public?
Well, with Christmas Post coming up, you might want to get onto our website and see our last posting day. You could also sign up for our authority to sign and save place, and then we can deliver stuff to you. You don't have to go waiting in any queues at the end of the day after work. So yeah.
Well, have a lovely Christmas. I hope it's not too busy. Well, no, I do hope it's busy, because it means that then, you've got a lot of post to deliver, but it means you're making lots of people happy.
Absolutely.
As you do that. Well, you do a great service. Thanks very much, Mark. All the best.
Thank you very much.